Hey guys, Tyler here, and I'm going to give my quick review on American Idiot. Long story short, I give it 4 stars out of 5. Why, you ask me? Well, I'll tell you why. I really like the fact that it was only 95 minutes. I thought I wouldn't like that, but I mean, it was just like high energy the whole time. The energy was never brought down, whereas a show like Wicked is 2.5 hours, and some of the songs are just like, you know. And it's like, I'll go see that again in a year. But American Idiot, I was like, I want to go see that again in an hour, 2 seconds. You know, weird exaggeration. The fact that there was only 3 minutes of dialogue, the 3 minutes of dialogue helped the story. And 3 minutes of dialogue was perfect. The only thing that should have been built on a little more, in my opinion, was the story between Johnny and what's-her-name. And maybe the story between the extraordinary girl and Tunny, because those two were a little confusing, especially the story between Johnny and what's-her-name, because there's the part where they have sex, and he's obviously in love with her by the middle of the show, but the part where they have sex seems more like a one-night stand than they're in love, which maybe I missed something, but I don't think they should fix it with dialogue. It should be fixed with another song, because the fact that there were 3 minutes of dialogue is what kept the show, you know, like this, because it was just really good songs the whole time. The musical orchestration is great. I love the string sections, and they did a great job of keeping it rock and roll. It's not theater rock, but it's also not the same album that you bought 5 years ago almost. I mean, it's different, but they stayed true to it, and they stayed true to the story. And the 2 characters that they added in really helped out the show a lot. And so did all the other songs that they added from the B-sides and 21st Century Breakdown. I really liked what they did with that. The choreography is great. Every word that the actors said, I could just like feel the angst behind it. I mean, the whole show is angst-ridden, just like the original album was, and they really bring that out as they flesh out the story. Set design, awesome. The whole thing is great. I just listened to the cast album, and I love the way it's mixed. Everything's recorded. I heard things that I didn't actually hear when I was watching the show, like the string section in St. Jimmy. That was really cool. Like, this is like a fiddle or something. Tony Vincent is great as St. Jimmy, and pretty much everyone's cast really well. The costumes are done really well. Or I guess they're costumes. The strobe light at the beginning of American Idiot is pretty cool. Everything about it I was really impressed with. And there's an aerial sequence in Extraordinary Girl that's awesome. And I really like the way that because that was kind of a weak song on the album, I really liked the way that they made that like a Middle Eastern thing, I guess, like themed, because they had the little like whatever those bongo things are at the beginning of the song. The only part that I didn't like, besides the lack of character development between what's-her-name and Johnny, because I didn't feel like the audience, if they didn't know the story ahead of time, could really feel for what's-her-name and Johnny. I also didn't like the Last of the American Girls and She's a Rebel mix. I mean, I kind of liked it, but when I heard it for the first time during the show, I was kind of like, what? I mean, they were like teasing towards the chorus of Last of the American Girls, which is awesome, and I kept wanting to hear it, but then they would stop and interrupt it with a segment from She's a Rebel. So that was kind of weird, because it was like slow down and be like, she puts her makeup on, do-do-do-do-do. She's a rebel, do-do-do-do-do. She's a rebel. Like, it was kind of weird. But overall, if you get a chance to go to New York City and see it, go. It's well worth the money, and go eat at Sardi's afterwards, because that's where the cast partied, and that's where I ate, and it was awesome. The show was so worth it, so go see it. Addams Family, not so much, but American Idiot, yes.